Every day we interact with countless people, each with their own hidden stories and struggles. Have you ever felt hurt when someone didn't appreciate your efforts, or frustrated when trust was broken? What if you could understand why people act the way they do and find peace in knowing it's not about you? Today, we're exploring 14 brutal truths about people based on Stoic wisdom. These truths will help you understand human behavior, build stronger relationships, and find inner strength. Imagine being free from the need for others' approval and being able to focus on your own happiness. Join me as we uncover these powerful insights and learn how to navigate life with more confidence and empathy. If you find this helpful, please consider subscribing to support our channel. Let's dive in and discover the truths that can transform your understanding of life and relationships. Are you ready? Let's begin. 1. People are often more focused on their own problems than on helping you with yours. This truth can be a tough pill to swallow, especially if you're someone who tends to prioritize others' needs above your own. It's a natural inclination for many of us to assume that our concerns are as important to others as they are to us, but this is rarely the case. Most people are preoccupied with their own lives, struggles, and worries, leaving little room to genuinely care about yours. Understanding this can be liberating. When you realize that most people are caught up in their own issues, it frees you from the expectation that they should always be there for you. It allows you to approach relationships with more realistic expectations, reducing the chances of feeling let down. Instead of feeling neglected or undervalued, you can appreciate the times when others do offer support, recognizing it as a bonus rather than a baseline expectation. This truth also emphasizes the importance of self-reliance. By accepting that others may not always be available to help, you're encouraged to develop your own problem-solving skills and resilience. This doesn't mean you should isolate yourself or never seek help, but rather that you should cultivate a sense of independence. When you can handle your problems on your own, any external help becomes an added benefit rather than a necessity. In practical terms, this mindset shift can change how you interact with others. Instead of expecting constant attention and support, you can approach relationships with a spirit of generosity and understanding. You'll be less likely to feel disappointed or resentful when others can't be there for you, and more likely to appreciate the moments when they can. This perspective fosters healthier, more balanced relationships, where support is mutual and given freely, not demanded. It also teaches you to value your own time and energy. When you understand that everyone has their own battles to fight, you're more likely to be selective about where you invest your emotional resources. This means not spreading yourself too thin trying to solve everyone else's problems, and instead focusing on what you can realistically manage. It's about striking a balance between being supportive and maintaining your own well-being. Moreover, this truth encourages empathy. When you realize that everyone is dealing with their own issues, it's easier to be patient and understanding. Instead of taking it personally when someone can't be there for you, you can recognize that they might be struggling with something themselves. This doesn't excuse neglectful behavior, but it does provide a more compassionate lens through which to view others' actions. Learning to accept that people are often more focused on their own problems can also reduce stress and anxiety. When you stop expecting others to always be available for you, you relieve yourself of the constant worry about their responses and availability. This can lead to a more peaceful and centered state of mind, where you feel secure in your ability to handle things on your own. This doesn't mean becoming cynical or distrustful. It's about being realistic and understanding human nature. People have limited emotional and physical resources, and it's not always possible for them to be as present as you might like. By accepting this, you can build more realistic and satisfying connections. Ultimately, This truth highlights the importance of self-care. When you recognize that others might not always be able to help, it pushes you to take better care of yourself. This means developing a strong support system within yourself, whether through mindfulness, hobbies, or personal growth activities. When you prioritize your own well-being, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges, regardless of the level of support you receive from others. In summary, accepting that people are often more focused on their own problems than on helping you with yours is a vital step towards building resilience, empathy, and self-reliance. It frees you from unrealistic expectations and fosters a more balanced approach to relationships. By understanding this truth, you can develop a healthier, more independent mindset, where external support is appreciated but not relied upon. This leads to more authentic and fulfilling connections, as well as a stronger sense of personal empowerment. 2. Everyone has their own agenda, and it may not align with yours. This truth can be a challenging realization, especially if you often work in teams or have close relationships where collaboration is key. It's a common mistake to assume that others are on the same page as you, but in reality, each person has their own goals, priorities, and motivations that might differ significantly from yours. Recognizing that everyone has their own agenda can help you navigate relationships and interactions more effectively. Instead of assuming that others share your objectives, you can take the time to understand what drives them. This awareness can lead to better communication and fewer misunderstandings. When you know what others are aiming for, you can find common ground more easily, or at least be prepared for potential conflicts of interest. This truth also encourages you to be more strategic in your interactions. By acknowledging that others have their own agendas, you can approach situations with a clearer understanding of potential outcomes. This can be particularly useful in professional settings where competing interests are common. Instead of feeling blindsided by others' actions, you can anticipate and plan for different scenarios, ensuring that you're better prepared to handle them. Moreover, understanding that everyone has their own agenda fosters a sense of empathy and patience. When someone's actions seem puzzling or frustrating, recognizing that they are driven by their own goals can help you respond more calmly and constructively. It allows you to step back and consider their perspective, which can be invaluable in resolving conflicts and building stronger relationships. In practical terms, this means taking the time to listen actively and ask questions. When you engage with others, be curious about their motivations and what they hope to achieve. This not only helps you understand their agenda, but also shows that you respect and value their perspective. Such an approach can lead to more meaningful and productive conversations where both parties feel heard and understood. Additionally, being aware of others' agendas can help you set clearer boundaries. When you know what others are after, you can better protect your own interests and ensure that you're not being taken advantage of. This is particularly important in situations where there might be a power imbalance, such as in professional or hierarchical relationships. Setting boundaries allows you to maintain your integrity and focus on your own goals without being overly influenced by others' agendas. This truth also serves as a reminder to be honest about your own agenda. Just as others have their own goals, you have yours, and it's important to be transparent about them when necessary. Honesty about your intentions can help build trust and foster more authentic interactions. It allows others to understand where you're coming from and can pave the way for more collaborative and mutually beneficial relationships. Accepting that everyone has their own agenda also encourages self-reflection. It prompts you to examine your own motivations and priorities more closely. By understanding what drives you, you can make more informed decisions and align your actions with your true goals. This self-awareness can lead to greater fulfillment and a stronger sense of purpose in both your personal and professional life. Moreover, this understanding can lead to more effective negotiation skills. When you recognize that everyone is working towards their own ends, you can better identify areas of compromise and collaboration. Negotiation becomes less about winning or losing and more about finding solutions that satisfy the key interests of all parties involved. This approach can result in more sustainable and positive outcomes in various aspects of life. In summary, accepting that everyone has their own agenda and that it may not align with yours is a crucial step towards more effective communication, empathy, and strategic thinking. It helps you navigate relationships with greater understanding and less frustration, fostering more genuine connections. By being aware of both your own and others' agendas, you can set clearer boundaries, negotiate more effectively, and achieve your goals with integrity and purpose. This truth, while initially challenging, ultimately empowers you to engage with the world in a more balanced and insightful way. 3. Not everyone will appreciate your efforts or kindness. This can be a disheartening realization, especially if you pride yourself on being generous and supportive. It's easy to assume that people will recognize and value your efforts, but the truth is, many won't. They might take your kindness for granted, misunderstand your intentions, or simply not care. Understanding this can change how you approach acts of kindness. Instead of expecting gratitude or recognition, you can begin to give freely, without strings attached. This shift in perspective can be incredibly freeing. When you no longer depend on external validation, your kindness becomes more genuine and less about receiving praise. It's about doing the right thing because it aligns with your values, not because you expect something in return. This truth also teaches resilience. When you know that not everyone will appreciate your efforts, you're less likely to be hurt or discouraged by ungrateful responses. Instead of feeling demoralized, you can maintain your sense of purpose and continue to act kindly, regardless of others' reactions. This resilience is a valuable trait, helping you to stay true to your principles even when faced with indifference or ingratitude. Moreover, accepting that not everyone will appreciate your efforts encourages you to set healthy boundaries. It's important to recognize when your kindness is being exploited or when your efforts are not reciprocated. Setting boundaries ensures that you're not overextending yourself or allowing others to take advantage of your generosity. It's about protecting your own well-being while still being kind and supportive in a balanced way. This understanding can also lead to more meaningful relationships. When you stop seeking validation from others, you can focus on building connections with people who genuinely appreciate and reciprocate your efforts. This means being selective about where you invest your time and energy, fostering relationships that are mutually supportive and fulfilling. It's about quality over quantity, ensuring that your kindness is valued and respected by those who matter most. Additionally, this truth fosters a deeper sense of self-worth. When you realize that your value doesn't depend on others' appreciation, you can develop a stronger sense of self. Your worth becomes intrinsic, based on your own values and actions rather than external validation. This intrinsic self-worth is more stable and enduring, helping you to remain confident and grounded regardless of others' responses. In practical terms, this means practicing self-compassion. When you encounter unappreciative people, remind yourself that their lack of gratitude doesn't diminish your value or the worth of your efforts. Be kind to yourself, recognizing that your actions are meaningful even if they go unacknowledged. This self-compassion can help you to maintain a positive outlook and continue acting with kindness and integrity. Furthermore, This truth can inspire you to seek out environments and communities where your efforts are more likely to be appreciated. Whether in your personal or professional life, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who share your values can create a more supportive and encouraging atmosphere. It's about finding your tribe, people who recognize and celebrate your contributions, making your efforts feel worthwhile and rewarding. Accepting that not everyone will appreciate your efforts also encourages humility. It reminds you that acts of kindness should come from a place of genuine care and altruism, not from a desire for recognition. This humility can deepen your sense of empathy and compassion, allowing you to give freely and selflessly. It's about focusing on the act itself rather than the outcome, finding joy and satisfaction in the process of giving. To wrap it up, recognizing that not everyone will appreciate your efforts or kindness is a crucial lesson in maintaining resilience, setting boundaries, and fostering genuine connections. It encourages you to act with integrity and selflessness, finding intrinsic value in your actions rather than seeking external validation. By understanding this truth, you can cultivate a deeper sense of self-worth, build more meaningful relationships, and continue to act kindly, even in the face of indifference. This perspective empowers you to navigate the world with confidence and compassion, staying true to your values regardless of others' reactions. 4. People can be unreliable and may let you down. This truth can be a tough one to accept, especially if you value dependability and integrity. We often place our trust in others, expecting them to follow through on their promises and commitments. However, the reality is that people can be unpredictable and sometimes fail to meet our expectations, whether intentionally or not. Embracing this truth can help you manage your expectations and protect yourself from disappointment. When you acknowledge that people can be unreliable, you're less likely to be caught off guard when they don't deliver. This doesn't mean you should become cynical or distrustful, but rather that you should approach relationships with a healthy dose of realism. Understanding that everyone has the potential to let you down can help you develop a more balanced view of human nature. This awareness also encourages you to build a strong sense of self-reliance. By recognizing that others may not always be dependable, you can focus on developing your own skills and resources to handle situations independently. This doesn't mean isolating yourself or refusing help, but rather ensuring that you're capable of managing things on your own if necessary. Self-reliance is a powerful tool that can boost your confidence and resilience, allowing you to navigate challenges with greater ease. Additionally, accepting that people can be unreliable can help you cultivate a more forgiving and compassionate mindset. When someone lets you down, it's easy to become frustrated or angry. However, understanding that everyone is human and capable of making mistakes can foster empathy. Instead of harboring resentment, you can try to understand the reasons behind their actions and offer grace. This approach can improve your relationships as it promotes understanding and reduces conflict. This truth also highlights the importance of contingency planning. Whether in personal or professional settings, having a backup plan can save you from the fallout of others' unreliability. By anticipating potential issues and preparing alternatives, you can minimize the impact when things don't go as planned. This proactive approach can reduce stress and help you remain adaptable in the face of unexpected challenges. Moreover, understanding that people can be unreliable can help you set clearer boundaries. When you know that others might not always follow through, you can be more discerning about what you expect from them. This means communicating your needs and limitations clearly and not overextending yourself based on unrealistic expectations of others. Setting boundaries protects your emotional and mental well-being, ensuring that you're not overly reliant on others for your happiness or success. In practical terms, this might involve being selective about who you trust with important tasks or responsibilities. It's about building a network of reliable individuals while also being prepared to handle things yourself if necessary. This selective trust can lead to stronger, more dependable relationships as you surround yourself with people who have proven their reliability over time. Accepting this truth also encourages you to focus on what you can control. While you can't control others' actions, you can control your response to them. By focusing on your own reactions and attitudes, you can maintain a sense of stability even when others are unpredictable. This focus on personal responsibility and control can lead to greater peace of mind and a more resilient outlook. Furthermore, this understanding can improve your problem-solving skills. When you're aware that people might not always be dependable, you can approach challenges with a more flexible and creative mindset. Instead of relying on a single solution or person, you're open to exploring multiple options and pathways. This adaptability can enhance your ability to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals, regardless of others' actions. To summarize in a new way, realizing that people can be unreliable and may let you down encourages self-reliance, empathy, and strategic planning. It helps you manage expectations, set boundaries, and focus on what you can control. By embracing this truth, you can develop a more resilient and adaptable mindset, fostering stronger relationships and navigating life's challenges with greater ease. This perspective empowers you to move forward confidently, knowing that while others may falter, you have the strength and resources to handle whatever comes your way. 5. Many people are motivated by self-interest rather than altruism. This can be a hard truth to accept, especially if you believe in the inherent goodness of people and the value of selflessness. However, understanding that self-interest often drives human behavior can provide clarity and help you navigate social dynamics more effectively. Recognizing this truth allows you to understand why people behave the way they do. It's not necessarily that they are malicious or uncaring. Rather, they are driven by their own needs and desires. This insight can help you interpret actions and decisions that might otherwise seem baffling or hurtful. By seeing the underlying motivations, you can approach interactions with more empathy and less judgment. This understanding can also help you manage your expectations. When you know that self-interest is a common motivator, you can temper your expectations of others' altruism. This doesn't mean you should become distrustful or cynical, but rather realistic about human nature. By lowering your expectations, you can avoid disappointment and frustration when people act in their own self-interest. Moreover, this truth encourages you to reflect on your own motivations. It's a reminder that self-interest is a natural part of being human, and it's important to be aware of your own needs and desires. By understanding your motivations, you can make more conscious choices that align with your values. This self-awareness can lead to greater personal integrity and fulfillment as you balance your needs with those of others. In practical terms, this might mean being more strategic in your interactions. When you know that self-interest is at play, you can negotiate and collaborate more effectively. This involves finding ways to align your interests with those of others, creating win-win situations. By understanding what others want, you can find common ground and work towards mutually beneficial outcomes. This approach can lead to more successful collaborations and partnerships. Accepting that self-interest drives much of human behavior also helps you develop healthier boundaries. When you recognize that others might prioritize their needs over yours, you can be more discerning about how you invest your time and energy. This means protecting yourself from being exploited or taken advantage of, and ensuring that your own needs are met. Setting boundaries is crucial for maintaining your well-being and ensuring that your relationships are balanced and respectful. This truth also fosters a sense of resilience. When you understand that self-interest is a powerful motivator, you're less likely to take things personally when others act in their own favor. This can help you remain composed and focused, even when faced with actions that might otherwise feel like a betrayal. By not taking things personally, you can maintain a sense of equilibrium and continue to act in alignment with your values. Furthermore, this understanding can enhance your leadership and influence. When you know what drives people, you can better inspire and motivate them. This involves appealing to their self-interest in a way that also aligns with broader goals. By framing your vision or request in terms that resonate with others' motivations, you can foster greater cooperation and commitment. This approach can lead to more effective leadership and more cohesive teams. Additionally, this truth can help you cultivate gratitude and appreciation. When people do act altruistically or put your needs above their own, it's important to recognize and appreciate it. Understanding that such actions are not always the norm can make you more grateful for the times when others do go out of their way to help you. This gratitude can strengthen your relationships and create a positive feedback loop of mutual support and appreciation. In another way of summing up, realizing that many people are motivated by self-interest rather than altruism is a key to understanding human behavior and managing your expectations. It encourages strategic thinking, self-awareness, and healthy boundaries. By accepting this truth, you can navigate social dynamics more effectively, build stronger and more balanced relationships, and remain resilient in the face of challenges. This perspective helps you to engage with others in a more empathetic and realistic manner, ultimately leading to more fulfilling and successful interactions. 6. People will judge you, often unfairly. This truth can be particularly harsh, as it strikes at our desire for acceptance and understanding. No matter how hard you try to present yourself positively, there will always be those who judge you based on incomplete information, biases, or misconceptions. Understanding that people will judge you unfairly can be liberating. It frees you from the impossible task of trying to please everyone. Once you accept that judgment is an inevitable part of human interaction, you can focus on living authentically rather than constantly seeking approval. This shift in focus allows you to prioritize your own values and goals over the opinions of others. This truth also encourages you to develop a thicker skin. When you know that unfair judgment is unavoidable, you can learn to take criticism less personally. Instead of letting negative opinions affect your self-esteem, you can view them as reflections of others' perspectives rather than absolute truths. This resilience helps you stay grounded and confident, even in the face of criticism. Moreover, accepting that people will judge you unfairly can foster empathy. When you experience unfair judgment yourself, it becomes easier to understand how it feels and to avoid judging others harshly. This empathy can improve your relationships and interactions as you become more understanding and less quick to criticize. In practical terms, this means focusing on self-acceptance. When you accept yourself, flaws and all, others' judgments have less power over you. Self-acceptance involves recognizing your strengths and weaknesses and embracing them as part of who you are. This inner confidence can shield you from the negative impact of unfair judgments, allowing you to live more freely and authentically. Furthermore, this truth highlights the importance of surrounding yourself with supportive people. While you can't avoid all judgment, you can choose to spend time with those who understand and appreciate you. Building a network of positive, supportive relationships can provide a buffer against the negativity of unfair judgment. These relationships offer encouragement and validation, helping you stay true to yourself. This understanding can also enhance your personal growth. When you know that judgment is inevitable, you can use it constructively. Instead of fearing judgment, you can view it as an opportunity for feedback and improvement. This doesn't mean accepting all criticism as valid, but rather being open to learning from it when appropriate. Constructive criticism can help you grow and evolve, leading to greater self-awareness and personal development. Accepting this truth also encourages you to focus on what you can control. While you can't control others' opinions, you can control your actions and reactions. By focusing on living in accordance with your values and goals, you can create a sense of fulfillment that isn't dependent on external validation. This self-directed approach leads to a more empowered and purposeful life. Additionally, understanding that people will judge you unfairly can help you maintain perspective. When faced with judgment, it's important to remember that everyone has their own biases and limitations. Others' opinions often say more about them than about you. Keeping this in mind can help you stay detached and focused on what truly matters to you. In another way, to sum up, realizing that people will judge you, often unfairly, is a key step towards self-acceptance, resilience, and empathy. It frees you from the need for constant approval and helps you focus on living authentically. By accepting this truth, you can develop a thicker skin, foster empathy, and surround yourself with supportive relationships. This perspective empowers you to live according to your values and goals, leading to a more fulfilling and purposeful life. Embracing this reality helps you navigate social dynamics with confidence and grace, knowing that your worth isn't determined by others' opinions. 7. Everyone is flawed and makes mistakes, including you. This fundamental truth can be both humbling and liberating. It's easy to hold others and ourselves to impossibly high standards, expecting perfection in our actions and decisions. However, recognizing that everyone, without exception, is imperfect can lead to a more compassionate and realistic outlook on life. Understanding that everyone is flawed helps to foster a sense of humility. When you accept your own imperfections, you are less likely to judge others harshly. This humility can improve your relationships, as it encourages a more forgiving and understanding attitude towards the mistakes and shortcomings of those around you. Instead of holding grudges or feeling superior, you can approach others with empathy and compassion. This truth also encourages self-forgiveness. Acknowledging your own flaws and mistakes allows you to let go of guilt and shame. Instead of dwelling on past errors, you can view them as opportunities for growth and learning. This self-forgiveness is crucial for maintaining mental and emotional well-being, as it frees you from the burden of unrealistic self-expectations and helps you move forward constructively. Moreover, accepting that everyone makes mistakes can reduce stress and anxiety. Perfectionism can be a significant source of stress, as it sets unattainable standards and creates constant pressure to meet them. By embracing the inevitability of mistakes, you can alleviate this pressure and approach life with a more relaxed and open mindset. This doesn't mean abandoning your goals or lowering your standards, but rather recognizing that perfection is not a prerequisite for success and happiness. This understanding also promotes resilience. When you accept that mistakes are a natural part of life, you become better equipped to handle setbacks and failures. Instead of seeing them as catastrophic events, you can view them as normal and expected occurrences. This resilience enables you to bounce back more quickly and continue pursuing your goals with determination and perseverance. In practical terms, this might involve adopting a growth mindset. A growth mindset, as opposed to a fixed mindset, views abilities and intelligence as qualities that can be developed through effort and learning. When you embrace a growth mindset, you see mistakes as opportunities to improve and grow rather than as indicators of failure. This perspective encourages continuous learning and development, leading to greater personal and professional growth. Accepting that everyone is flawed also enhances your ability to collaborate and work in teams. When you recognize that everyone has strengths and weaknesses, you can better appreciate the diverse skills and perspectives that others bring to the table. This appreciation fosters a more inclusive and supportive environment where team members feel valued and respected despite their imperfections. It encourages collaboration based on mutual respect and shared goals. Furthermore, this truth can improve your leadership abilities. As a leader, understanding that you and your team members are all human and prone to mistakes allows you to create a more supportive and forgiving work culture. By modeling self-acceptance and resilience, you can inspire others to embrace their imperfections and learn from their mistakes. This approach leads to a more motivated and innovative team, as people feel safe to take risks and experiment without fear of harsh judgment. Additionally, recognizing that everyone makes mistakes can enhance your problem-solving skills. When you approach challenges with the understanding that errors are a natural part of the process, you can maintain a more positive and solution-focused attitude. This mindset encourages creative thinking and persistence, as you are not deterred by setbacks, but instead view them as stepping stones towards finding effective solutions. To conclude in a fresh way, understanding that everyone is flawed and makes mistakes, including yourself, is a fundamental step towards fostering humility, self-forgiveness, and resilience. It reduces stress and anxiety, promotes a growth mindset, and enhances your ability to collaborate and lead effectively. By embracing this truth, you can create a more compassionate and realistic approach to life, where mistakes are seen as opportunities for growth and learning. This perspective empowers you to navigate challenges with grace and confidence, knowing that imperfection is a natural and valuable part of the human experience. 8. Some people will never change, no matter how much you wish they would. This can be a particularly difficult truth to accept, especially if you have a close relationship with someone whose behavior or attitudes you find problematic. It's natural to hope that people can grow and improve, but the reality is that change must come from within, and not everyone is willing or able to make those changes. Accepting this truth can bring a sense of relief and clarity. When you realize that some people will never change, you can stop wasting your energy trying to force them to be different. This doesn't mean giving up on people entirely, but rather recognizing the limits of your influence. It allows you to focus your efforts on areas where you can make a difference, rather than banging your head against a wall of resistance. This understanding also helps you set healthier boundaries. If someone's behavior is consistently harmful or draining, accepting that they may never change can empower you to protect yourself. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you don't care about the person. It means you care about your well-being enough to not let their actions negatively impact your life. This might involve limiting your interactions with them or finding ways to minimize their influence on your emotional health. Moreover, recognizing that some people will never change encourages you to focus on your own growth. Instead of trying to change others, you can invest that energy into improving yourself. This shift in focus can be incredibly empowering. By working on your own development, you can become more resilient, self-sufficient, and capable of handling whatever challenges come your way. It's about taking control of what you can change, yourself, rather than trying to control others. This truth also promotes acceptance and peace. When you stop expecting others to change, you can learn to accept them as they are. This doesn't mean you have to agree with or condone their behavior, but it does mean you can find a way to coexist without constant conflict. Acceptance can lead to a more peaceful state of mind, where you're not constantly frustrated by unmet expectations. In practical terms, this might involve reassessing your relationships. Evaluate the people in your life and consider whether their behavior is something you can live with, or if it's something that requires you to take action to protect yourself. This might mean having difficult conversations, distancing yourself from certain individuals, or seeking support from others who understand and respect your boundaries. Accepting that some people will never change can also enhance your empathy and compassion. When you recognize the limits of your influence, you can focus on understanding rather than changing others. This empathy can improve your relationships as it fosters a more compassionate and non-judgmental approach. Instead of seeing someone as a project to be fixed, you can appreciate them as a person with their own struggles and experiences. Furthermore, this truth can improve your decision-making. When you know that you can't change others, you can make more informed choices about how to interact with them. This might mean choosing to disengage from toxic relationships or finding ways to manage difficult interactions more effectively. By accepting reality, you can create strategies that work within the constraints of what you can control. In another light, accepting that some people will never change highlights the importance of personal responsibility. It reminds you that you are responsible for your own happiness and well-being. Instead of blaming others for their inability to change, you can focus on what you can do to create a positive and fulfilling life for yourself. This perspective encourages proactive and empowered living, where you take charge of your own destiny. To put it differently, recognizing that some people will never change is a crucial step towards setting boundaries, focusing on your own growth, and finding peace in acceptance. It helps you conserve your energy for what you can control and fosters empathy and compassion in your relationships. By embracing this truth, you can navigate life with a clearer understanding of your limits and a stronger focus on your own well-being and development. This perspective empowers you to live more authentically and peacefully, knowing that true change comes from within and cannot be imposed on others. 9. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. This truth can be particularly hard to accept, especially if you're someone who values social harmony and approval. The desire to be liked is deeply ingrained in human nature, but the reality is that it's impossible to please everyone. People have different tastes, values, and perspectives, which means that no matter how hard you try, there will always be some who don't like you. Understanding that not everyone will like you can be incredibly freeing. It allows you to let go of the exhausting and ultimately futile effort of trying to win everyone's approval. Instead of bending over backwards to be liked by everyone, you can focus on being true to yourself and attracting those who genuinely appreciate you for who you are. This shift in focus can lead to more authentic and satisfying relationships. This truth also encourages you to prioritize your own values and happiness over others' opinions. When you accept that you won't be liked by everyone, you can stop compromising your beliefs and desires just to fit in. This doesn't mean being rude or inconsiderate, but rather being honest and authentic in your interactions. By staying true to yourself, you attract people who respect and resonate with your true self, rather than a false version created to gain approval. Moreover, accepting that not everyone will like you helps to build resilience. When you stop taking rejection personally, you become more resilient to criticism and negativity. Instead of letting others' opinions affect your self-worth, you can maintain a strong sense of self-confidence. This resilience allows you to pursue your goals and live your life without being derailed by the inevitable disapproval of some. In practical terms, This might involve practicing self-acceptance. Embrace your strengths and weaknesses and understand that they make you unique. When you accept yourself fully, others' opinions lose their power over you. This self-acceptance creates a solid foundation of self-esteem, which is essential for navigating social dynamics with confidence. Additionally, this truth can improve your mental and emotional well-being. Constantly seeking approval can be mentally and emotionally draining. By accepting that not everyone will like you, you can reduce the anxiety and stress associated with trying to meet everyone's expectations. This acceptance allows you to focus on what truly matters to you, leading to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Understanding that not everyone will like you also encourages you to surround yourself with supportive and like-minded individuals. Instead of wasting time and energy on those who don't appreciate you, you can invest in relationships that are mutually supportive and enriching. Building a network of people who genuinely like and support you can provide a strong sense of belonging and community. Furthermore, this truth promotes empathy and tolerance. When you accept that it's okay not to be liked by everyone, you can extend the same understanding to others. This empathy fosters a more inclusive and tolerant attitude, where differences are respected rather than judged. It allows you to appreciate the diversity of human experience and to connect with others on a deeper level. In a practical sense, accepting this truth might involve reevaluating your social circles and making conscious choices about who you spend your time with. Seek out people who uplift and inspire you and who accept you as you are. This intentional approach to relationships can lead to a more positive and supportive social environment. To look at it from another angle, recognizing that not everyone will like you is a crucial step towards self-acceptance, resilience, and authentic living. It frees you from the need for constant approval and allows you to focus on being true to yourself. By embracing this truth, you can build stronger, more genuine relationships and improve your mental and emotional well-being. This perspective empowers you to live more confidently and authentically, knowing that your worth is not determined by others' opinions. It helps you navigate social dynamics with grace and empathy, creating a more fulfilling and meaningful life. 10. People can be jealous and resentful of your success. This truth can be particularly painful to accept, especially when it comes from those you care about or look up to. Success, whether personal or professional, can sometimes bring out negative emotions in others. Understanding that jealousy and resentment are natural human responses can help you navigate these situations with more grace and less hurt. Recognizing that jealousy and resentment are common reactions to success can help you manage your expectations. Not everyone will celebrate your achievements, and that's okay. By accepting this, you can prepare yourself emotionally and avoid feeling blindsided by negative reactions. It allows you to focus on your own journey without being overly affected by others' responses. This truth also encourages you to develop a strong sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on external validation. When you understand that others' jealousy or resentment doesn't diminish your accomplishments, you can maintain your confidence and pride in your achievements. This self-assuredness is crucial for continuing to pursue your goals despite potential negativity from others. Moreover, accepting that people can be jealous or resentful of your success can foster empathy. Jealousy often stems from a place of insecurity or dissatisfaction with one's own life. When you recognize this, you can respond with compassion rather than defensiveness. This doesn't mean tolerating toxic behavior, but rather understanding the root cause and choosing to rise above it. In practical terms, this might involve being mindful of how you share your successes. While it's important to celebrate your achievements, Being sensitive to others' feelings can help maintain harmonious relationships. This doesn't mean downplaying your success, but rather finding a balance between sharing your joy and being considerate of others' potential insecurities. Additionally, this truth can help you build resilience against negativity. When you accept that jealousy and resentment are part of human nature, you become less vulnerable to their impact. Instead of letting negative reactions deter you, you can use them as motivation to keep striving for your goals. This resilience is essential for maintaining momentum and confidence in your pursuits. Understanding that people can be jealous and resentful of your success also encourages you to seek out supportive environments. Surround yourself with people who genuinely celebrate your achievements and inspire you to reach new heights. This supportive network can provide the encouragement and validation you need to continue thriving despite any negativity from others. Furthermore, this truth highlights the importance of humility. While it's natural to feel proud of your accomplishments, staying humble can help mitigate jealousy and resentment from others. Humility doesn't mean undervaluing your success, but rather recognizing that everyone has their own path and that success is not a zero-sum game. By being humble, you can inspire others rather than provoke negative feelings. In a practical sense, this might involve actively supporting and encouraging others in their own pursuits. When you uplift those around you, you create a positive cycle of mutual support and success. This not only helps to reduce jealousy and resentment, but also fosters a more collaborative and empowering environment. Another way to view this is to use the experience of encountering jealousy and resentment as a tool for personal growth. Reflect on how these reactions affect you and what they teach you about yourself and your relationships. This reflection can provide valuable insights into how you handle success and adversity, helping you grow stronger and more self-aware. To sum it up differently, realizing that people can be jealous and resentful of your success is a crucial step towards maintaining self-assurance, empathy, and resilience. It helps you manage your expectations and focus on your own journey without being overly influenced by others' negativity. By accepting this truth, you can build stronger, more supportive relationships and continue to pursue your goals with confidence and humility. This perspective empowers you to navigate success with grace and understanding, fostering a more fulfilling and balanced life. 11. Trust is fragile and can be easily broken. Trust is one of the most fundamental components of any relationship, whether personal or professional. Yet it is also incredibly delicate and can be shattered with a single misstep. Understanding the fragility of trust can help you navigate your relationships more carefully and thoughtfully. Recognizing the delicate nature of trust encourages you to value and nurture it. When you realize how easily trust can be broken, you become more mindful of your actions and words. This awareness can lead to more intentional and respectful interactions as you strive to build and maintain trust with those around you. It reminds you to be reliable, honest, and consistent, as these are the pillars upon which trust is built. This truth also helps you understand the impact of betrayal. When trust is broken, the effects can be profound and long-lasting. By acknowledging this, you can better appreciate the importance of integrity and accountability in your actions. It also helps you empathize with others when they feel betrayed, as you understand the depth of pain that broken trust can cause. Moreover, accepting the fragility of trust can guide you in rebuilding it when it's broken. While it's challenging, trust can be restored with effort, time, and sincerity. Understanding that trust is fragile allows you to approach the process of rebuilding it with the necessary patience and dedication. It involves taking responsibility for your actions, making amends, and consistently demonstrating trustworthiness over time. In practical terms, this might mean being more transparent and communicative in your relationships. Open and honest communication is essential for building and maintaining trust. When you're clear about your intentions and actions, it reduces the chances of misunderstandings and fosters a sense of security. This transparency can strengthen your relationships and create a more trusting environment. Additionally, this truth highlights the importance of setting and respecting boundaries. Trust involves respecting others' boundaries and ensuring that your own are upheld. When boundaries are clear and respected, it creates a sense of safety and trust within relationships. This mutual respect is fundamental to maintaining strong and healthy connections. Understanding the fragility of trust also encourages you to be discerning about whom you trust. Not everyone deserves your trust, and it's important to recognize that. By being selective and taking the time to build trust gradually, you can protect yourself from potential betrayals. This discernment involves observing others' behavior and consistency before placing your trust in them. Furthermore, this truth can help you manage your expectations. When you accept that trust is fragile, you understand that even well-intentioned people can sometimes fail to live up to their promises. This understanding can help you approach relationships with a balanced perspective, where you value trust, but also recognize the potential for human error. It allows you to be prepared for disappointments without becoming overly cynical or mistrustful. In a practical sense, accepting the fragility of trust might involve practicing forgiveness. Holding on to grudges or past betrayals can hinder your ability to trust again. While forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing harmful behavior, it does involve letting go of the resentment that can poison your relationships. Forgiving others and yourself can pave the way for rebuilding trust and moving forward. Another aspect of this truth is understanding the importance of consistency in actions. Trust is built over time through consistent and reliable behavior. When you consistently demonstrate integrity, honesty, and reliability, you strengthen the foundation of trust in your relationships. This consistency reassures others that they can depend on you, which is crucial for maintaining trust. To wrap it up differently, recognizing that trust is fragile and can be easily broken is essential for nurturing and maintaining healthy relationships. It encourages mindful actions, open communication, and a balanced approach to trust. By accepting this truth, you can build stronger, more resilient relationships and navigate the complexities of trust with empathy and integrity. This perspective empowers you to value and protect trust, understanding its crucial role in creating meaningful and lasting connections. 12. People often project their own insecurities and issues onto others. This truth can be both enlightening and liberating, as it helps you understand that much of the negativity directed toward you by others may actually have little to do with you. Instead, it often reflects their own unresolved issues and insecurities. Recognizing that people project their insecurities can help you take things less personally. When someone criticizes or judges you harshly, understanding this dynamic allows you to step back and consider what might be driving their behavior. Instead of internalizing their negativity, you can view it as a reflection of their struggles, not a statement about your worth or character. This truth also fosters empathy and compassion. When you realize that others' negative behavior often stems from their own pain and insecurity, it becomes easier to respond with kindness and understanding rather than anger or defensiveness. This empathy doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior, but it does mean approaching it with a more nuanced perspective that considers the underlying causes. In practical terms, This might involve practicing active listening and validation when someone is projecting their insecurities onto you. By acknowledging their feelings without taking on their issues as your own, you can diffuse potentially tense situations and provide a supportive environment. This approach can help build stronger, more trusting relationships as people feel heard and understood without judgment. Moreover, understanding projection can help you reflect on your own behavior. We all have insecurities, and it's possible to project them onto others without realizing it. By being aware of this tendency, you can become more mindful of your reactions and more willing to address your own issues directly. This self-awareness fosters personal growth and healthier interactions with others. This truth also highlights the importance of setting emotional boundaries. When you recognize that someone's negative behavior is a projection of their insecurities, you can protect your emotional well-being by not absorbing their negativity. Setting boundaries involves being clear about what behavior is acceptable and maintaining your sense of self-worth despite others' projections. This can be particularly important in close relationships, where projections can easily blur the lines between your issues and theirs. Additionally, this understanding can improve conflict resolution. When conflicts arise, recognizing projection allows you to address the root of the problem more effectively. Instead of getting caught up in the surface-level issues, you can explore the underlying insecurities and work towards a more constructive resolution. This approach fosters deeper understanding and cooperation, turning conflicts into opportunities for growth and connection. In practical terms, this might involve having open and honest conversations about the underlying issues driving someone's behavior. By gently probing and encouraging self-reflection, you can help others recognize their projections and take steps towards resolving their insecurities. This doesn't mean playing therapist, but rather fostering a supportive environment where self-awareness and growth are encouraged. Furthermore, accepting that people project their insecurities can help you maintain your self-esteem. When you understand that negative comments and criticisms often have more to do with the other person's issues than with your actual shortcomings, you can preserve your self-worth and confidence. This perspective shields you from the harmful effects of unwarranted negativity and allows you to stay focused on your own path and goals. Another aspect of this truth is recognizing the role of societal and cultural influences on insecurities. Many insecurities are shaped by societal expectations and pressures, which people then project onto others. Understanding this can help you navigate social dynamics with more awareness and empathy, recognizing the broader context behind individual behavior. To sum it up in a different way, realizing that people often project their own insecurities and issues onto others is a crucial step towards maintaining empathy, self-awareness, and emotional boundaries. It helps you take things less personally, fosters compassion, and improves conflict resolution. By embracing this truth, you can navigate relationships with greater understanding and resilience, focusing on your own growth and well-being while being supportive of others. This perspective empowers you to build healthier, more constructive interactions and maintain your self-esteem despite the projections of others. 13. Everyone is dealing with their own struggles, even if they don't show it. This truth can be profoundly humanizing and help cultivate a sense of empathy and patience in our interactions. It's easy to judge others based on their outward behavior, but understanding that everyone has their own hidden battles can change how we relate to and support each other. Recognizing that everyone has their own struggles encourages compassion. When someone is rude, distant, or unkind, it's often a reflection of their inner turmoil rather than their feelings toward you. By keeping this in mind, you can approach others with more understanding and less judgment. This compassionate perspective helps you respond to negativity with kindness, potentially diffusing tensions and fostering better relationships. This truth also reminds you that appearances can be deceiving. People often present a facade of confidence and happiness, masking the challenges they face. Accepting this can help you avoid making assumptions about others' lives and encourage a deeper, more empathetic engagement. It's a reminder that everyone has a story, and we often only see the surface. Moreover, this understanding can reduce feelings of envy and comparison. In a world where social media and superficial interactions often highlight only the positive aspects of people's lives, it's easy to feel inadequate. Recognizing that everyone is dealing with their own struggles, even if you can't see them, helps you focus on your own journey without comparing yourself to others. It can provide a sense of solidarity, knowing that struggles are a universal human experience. In practical terms, this might mean practicing active listening and showing genuine interest in others' well-being. When you engage with someone, especially if they seem off or distant, take the time to ask how they're doing and really listen to their response. This small act of kindness can make a significant difference and help build deeper connections. It shows that you care beyond the superficial and are there to support them. Furthermore, understanding that everyone has their own struggles can enhance your patience and tolerance. When someone behaves in a way that frustrates or annoys you, recalling this truth can help you take a step back and consider what might be going on in their life. This doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it does provide a more compassionate lens through which to view it. It allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This truth also encourages self-reflection. Acknowledging that everyone has hidden struggles can prompt you to consider how you deal with your own. Are you masking your difficulties, or are you finding healthy ways to cope and seek support? Reflecting on this can lead to personal growth and better emotional health. It's a reminder to be honest with yourself about your challenges and to seek help when needed. In practical terms, this might involve being more open about your own struggles. Sharing your experiences can create a sense of mutual support and understanding. It fosters a culture of vulnerability and authenticity, where people feel safe to express their true selves. This openness can strengthen relationships and create a more supportive community. Additionally, this understanding can enhance your leadership and teamwork skills. In a professional setting, recognizing that colleagues and team members have their own struggles can help you create a more empathetic and supportive work environment. It encourages you to lead with compassion and to be mindful of the personal challenges that might affect your team's performance. This approach can lead to a more cohesive and motivated team. In a broader sense, accepting this truth can contribute to a more compassionate society. When we collectively understand that everyone is dealing with their own battles, it can foster a culture of kindness and support. It encourages us to be less judgmental and more willing to offer help and understanding to those around us. To wrap up in a new way, understanding that everyone is dealing with their own struggles, even if they don't show it, is a vital step toward fostering empathy, patience, and authentic connections. It reminds us to look beyond the surface and approach others with compassion. By embracing this truth, you can build deeper, more meaningful relationships and contribute to a more supportive and understanding community. This perspective empowers you to navigate interactions with kindness and resilience, knowing that you are not alone in your struggles and that everyone has their own hidden battles. 14. You can't control other people's actions or reactions, only your own. This is a fundamental truth that lies at the heart of Stoicism and many other philosophies. It teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, rather than trying to control or change others. Recognizing that you can't control others can bring a profound sense of peace and empowerment. It frees you from the frustration and anxiety that come from trying to manage the uncontrollable. When you accept that others will act and react as they will, you can redirect your energy towards what you can influence, your own responses and decisions. This truth encourages personal responsibility. By focusing on your own actions and reactions, you take ownership of your life and your happiness. It empowers you to choose how you respond to challenges and to act in ways that align with your values. This sense of control over your own behavior can be incredibly empowering and can lead to greater personal growth and satisfaction. Moreover, understanding that you can't control others can improve your relationships. When you stop trying to change people, you can accept them as they are. This acceptance fosters more genuine and respectful interactions, as you're not imposing your expectations on them. It also reduces conflict, as you're less likely to get frustrated or disappointed by others' behavior. In practical terms, this might involve practicing mindfulness and self-awareness. When you encounter a situation that triggers a strong emotional response, take a moment to reflect on your feelings and choose how to respond. Mindfulness can help you stay grounded and focused on your own actions rather than reacting impulsively to others. This practice can lead to more thoughtful and measured responses, improving your interactions and reducing stress. Additionally, this truth can help you develop healthier boundaries. When you understand that you can't control others, you can set clear boundaries to protect your own well-being. This might involve distancing yourself from toxic people or situations, or simply saying no to things that don't serve your best interests. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-care, ensuring that you prioritize your own needs and values. Understanding this truth also encourages forgiveness and letting go. When you realize that you can't control others, you can let go of the need to hold on to grudges or resentment. Forgiveness becomes easier when you accept that people's actions are a reflection of their own experiences and struggles, not necessarily a personal affront to you. Letting go of this emotional baggage can lead to greater peace and freedom. This truth also emphasizes the importance of focusing on your own growth and development. Instead of expending energy trying to change others, you can invest that energy in improving yourself. This might involve pursuing personal goals, developing new skills, or engaging in self-reflection and self-improvement activities. By focusing on your own growth, you become a stronger, more resilient person who can handle whatever life throws your way. In practical terms, this might mean setting personal goals and taking steps to achieve them, regardless of others' opinions or actions. It involves being proactive and taking charge of your own life, rather than waiting for others to change or meet your expectations. This proactive approach leads to a more fulfilling and self-directed life. Furthermore, this understanding can enhance your problem-solving abilities. When you focus on what you can control, you approach problems with a more practical and solution-oriented mindset. Instead of getting bogged down by factors outside your control, you can identify actionable steps and take decisive action. This approach leads to more effective and efficient problem-solving. As we wrap up, I hope these 14 truths have given you a new perspective on understanding and navigating human nature. Embracing these insights can lead to stronger relationships, greater self-awareness, and a more fulfilling life. If you found value in this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Which truth resonated most with you, and how do you plan to apply it in your life? If you made it this far, comment, empowered and resilient. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to help others discover these powerful truths. Until next time, stay strong and stay true to yourself.